Can you imagine getting through your day without arms or legs? How could you do things like brushing your teeth, eating dinner, walking across the room? When faced with a condition like that, you have to choose whether to let it control or dictate your life, or you can choose to live life despite the condition. Today, we'll be looking at 10 brave people without limbs who choose the latter. Be sure to stay until the end of the video and check out our number 1 pick, because that guy will definitely inspire you to live your life to the fullest. Gabe Adams.
But I know that I don't have arms and legs for a reason, so I'm just going to live my life as best as I can.
20-year-old Gabe Adams from Kaysville, Utah, was born with Hanhart syndrome, a birth defect that affects less than 1 in 1 million people in the U.S. Some of the common signs of this condition are a small or underdeveloped jaw, missing fingers or toes, and in Gabe's case, no arms and no legs. On top of that, the condition affects Gabe's short-term memory and hearing. Gabe is trying to be as independent as possible. He's learned how to walk, how to get dressed. He can also go up and down the stairs, get into his wheelchair, and take his own notes in school. Victoria Salcido.
Perdí mis brazos y mi pierna en un accidente eléctrico.
23-year-old Victoria Salcido from Guayaquil, Ecuador, lives her life by a powerful mantra: if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. She fell in love with free diving the first time she tried it, and the fact that she doesn't need prosthetics makes it even better. This swimming enthusiast doesn't remember a time when she lost her arms and one of her legs. At the age of 5, she touched a high-voltage wire with a metal stick, and her life was forever changed. She had to relearn everything, including basic tasks like writing and dressing. But Victoria isn't one to shy away from an intimidating situation or from cameras. She's gaining traction as a social media influencer when she's not studying for her dream job as a news reporter. Sophie.
I use my feet to paint, draw, and write, and
10-year-old Sophie Green from Harriman, Utah, was born without arms, but she doesn't let that hold her back. She uses her feet to paint, draw, write, eat, and even paint other people's nails. Sophie also rides a bike and loves to dance. Parents Christiane and Jeremy Green adopted Sophie from China when she was 2 years old. She is one of 10 siblings, 7 of whom are adopted and also have disabilities. Sophie is also quite popular at school. However, fitting in wasn't always so easy. When she first started school, Sophie struggled with the questions and looks she received. Charlotte Cleverly.
I started to do boxing because I felt really depressed and I felt like punching something.
Despite being a quadruple amputee, 16-year-old Charlotte Cleverly from New Zealand is quite passionate about boxing. When she was just 7 months old, Charlotte contracted the deadly meningococcal disease, so the doctors had to partially amputate both of her legs and arms in order to save her life. Despite her amputations, Charlotte can walk with the help of prosthetics. She can also surf, skydive, but boxing is what she enjoys the most because it allows her to let out her anger. Charlotte simply refuses to let the condition beat her. She wants to get stronger and be more independent. Isabel Wheel.
At one point, I did have a less than 1% chance of survival.
16-year-old Isabel Wheel from Derby, UK, is a quadruple amputee, but that didn't stop her from becoming a national trampoline champion. When she was just 7 years old, Isabel contracted meningitis, an infection that infects the protective membranes that surround the brain and spinal cord. As a result of this, she had multiple organ failures. Her heart stopped and she was in a coma for around a week. In order to save her life, doctors had to amputate the lower part of her arms and legs. At one point, she was given less than 1% of survival. But she managed to beat the odds and find a way to do everything that she could do before, if not more. Ibrahim Hamad. Meet Ibrahim Hamad, an Egyptian para-table tennis champion. He is the man with the heart of a lion and incredibly strong willpower. He fought every odd, overcame every obstacle, and ultimately became not just a table tennis sensation, but also an inspiration to the world. At just 10 years of age, a horrifying train accident cost Ibrahim both of his arms. The adjustment back to daily life wasn't easy by any means, but the accident didn't stop him from becoming an international sports star. Ibrahim's journey highlights his motto in life that nothing is impossible. Just 3 years after the accident, Ibrahim started playing ping pong. At first, he tried holding the racket under his arm, but it didn't work out. After trying different options, Ibrahim found himself playing with his mouth. In 2011, the ITTF invited him to the World Team Table Tennis Championship in Tokyo to play with the best of the best, including Hugh Mitsutani, Wang Hao, Vladimir Samsonov, Ma Long, and others.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for y'all that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Jaleesa Austin.
My disability doesn't affect anything. Me and John, we've been together 13 years.
Jaleesa Austin from Texas is only 3 feet 4 inches tall, has no arms, no knees, and has only 7 toes. But that doesn't stop her from doing everyday activities, such as brushing her teeth and using her phone. But the only one thing she does struggle with is reaching things off high shelves. Luckily, her 5'6" fiancé, Jonathan, is always around to help. Jaleesa is a busy woman who runs her own weave business. When she was born, doctors told her parents she would never learn to walk and that she wouldn't survive past her 18th birthday. Jaleesa managed to prove them wrong and says the word can't just isn't in her vocabulary. Sonique Wakata.
I'm going to live in this body forever, so I just have to love myself and accept that this is who I am.
25-year-old Sonique Wakata from Harare, Zimbabwe, has an unknown disability that caused her limbs to stop growing in the womb. She is very short in stature, she has no hands, and her legs stop before the knee. As you can imagine, growing up without limbs was extremely difficult for Sonique. People used to stare and laugh at her, and some even considered her disability to be a curse from the gods. I don't even know what to say about that one. But you'll be glad to know that Sonique managed to overcome all obstacles. She now educates about disabilities and inspires thousands of people at speaking events and online. She even has a blog called Life of a Short Girl. Nick Vujicic.
This man has no arms or legs, but watch what he can do.
Nick Vujicic is not only inspirational, but his story is pretty incredible. He was born without arms and legs as a result of a condition called tetra amelia syndrome that affects a small percentage of the population. Despite not having limbs, Vujicic manages to get through his daily life just fine and has come up with innovative ways to do the simplest things in life, like swimming and walking. Vujicic can even play golf by holding a club in his mouth. He is also one of the most well-known motivational speakers in the world. He is constantly on tour speaking to crowds of thousands. In 2012, he married the love of his life, Kanea Miyahara. They have 4 children and live in Southern California. Torso Man.
Hi, my name is Christian, and I'm 27 years old.
Christian Arndt was born with no arms and legs as a result of an extremely rare condition called totale tetra ameliae. Might be a dead language, but the man is alive and well. He weighs only 44 pounds. He's trapped inside a body that can do very little for itself except speak and think. He cannot walk or eat on his own, but he is determined to live his life to the full. In this video, you can see Christian being carried by his adoptive sister Karina, who encourages him to pursue his dream of becoming a media presenter. Which one of these amazing people has inspired you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll handpick and feature your comment in the next video, so look out for your comment. And now it's time for another featured comment from one of our previous videos. This one's from the most unusual seafoods in the world episode. S.A., is that Special Agent Well? Okay, I'm gonna call you Special Agent Well asks, do they even wash their hands when they make it? Well, I certainly hope they do, but I wouldn't be so sure.